Beyond politics and above organized religion, a moral authority exists known globally as the Ageless Wisdom. It is the study of consciousness, the mystery of awareness, which cannot be measured yet will not be denied. This podcast from Michael Benner's Ageless Wisdom Salon features lessons in metaphysics, mysticism, and esoteric philosophy. Those who attend live on Zoom may also participate in group meditation and roundtable discussions. Register for our newsletter at michaelbenner.com. Welcome to the Ageless Wisdom Mystery School with Michael Benner.
So if you make sure your mics are muted, sit back in your chairs, close your eyes, begin to watch your body breathing itself, taking 3 or 4 nice, slow, deep breaths. Feeling strength and power as you inhale, ideally through the nose. Notice a brief pause and create a sense of relaxation feeling as you exhale, going beyond where you'd normally stop. Just do that 3, 4, 5 times. Becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the letting go. Feeling very safe. Feeling a certain warmth. An increasing level of contentment. Certain ease, as if everything's okay. If you've never in your life felt that everything was just fine as it is, pretend. How would that feel? How would it feel if everything was just perfect, at least for now, right here, right now. Everything's fine. And getting better and better all by itself, without any effort, without any micromanaging, without any decision-making. Something about the nature of things, the nature of the universe, is unfolding. Something's growing. Actually, everything is evolving, growing, unfolding. In kind of a spiral. I mean, there's an around and around to things. Each day is a cycle. Each month is a cycle. As the moon goes through all of its phases in 28 days. Each year is a cycle as the earth completes one orbit of the sun. The seasons, the tides, your in-breath and out-breath, as you now allow your body to breathe itself, is an around and around. We hear people sometimes refer to a timeline as if now is 0 on the number line, and The past goes off to the left and the future is off to the right. But clocks are round. And the second hand, and the minute hand, and the hour hand go around and around. But if we think of that cyclic nature of all things, the way energy revolves, and add to that a third dimension, moving up, moving forward, we get the spiral. The spiralic path up the mountain, around and around, moving up the mountain. Or just switchbacking, zigzagging back and forth as you ascend the mountain, moving on up. So you may say to yourself, why am I going through this again? Oh, not this again. Why does this always happen to me? That's the around and the around part, but tell yourself it's happening on a higher turn of the spiral. It's not the same as it was the last time. And life leads us on a spiral path. Days, months, years, but also the events and the circumstances in our lives, the patterns of what we deal with, and maybe just in our relationships with other people. Oh, here we go again. Yeah, but on a higher turn of the spiral, there's something new. So if you ever feel frustrated by, here we go again, not this again, remind yourself that this time you're on a higher turn of the spiral, and there's something new here for you. Somewhere in what looks like simple repetition is something new and different, an opportunity to learn essentially about yourself and then the world. We think of a pendulum as going back and forth. But a pendulum, in going back and forth, can also go around and around. And as we consider the spiral in the swing of the pendulum, the around and around, or the back and forth of the weighted base of the pendulum, can include an awareness of moving up the string that connects the plumb, the weighted base, to the top of the pendulum. So if we consider as we go back and forth or around and around like a pendulum, consider moving up the string, progressing, and you'll see that the pendulum traces out a spiral as well. And one of the things I like about the pendulum as an allegory, and would have you consider as well is we could even call it a paradox of the bottom of that pendulum swinging so widely to and fro, way over here and then way over there, and then forward and back, as well as back and forth and around and around. But as you move up the string, there's less variation. You're moving from separation toward unity. All in one system, until at the top of that pendulum you get perfect unity, out of which all of this variation, all of this swinging back and forth, round and round, yin and yang, day and night, all of that flows from perfect unity at the top of the pendulum, that pinpoint that is a location that takes no space. It exists outside of time and space. Just as we learned in geometry, there are lines, there are circles, there are shapes in geometry, but the point is unique in geometry. A line is shortest distance between 2 points, but a point is only a location that takes up no space. A point, the top of the pendulum, exists outside of space and outside of time. And all of this swinging of the pendulum in space and time flows from a point that exists infinitely and eternally outside, beyond space and time. So I would have you consider that within each of us is a still point of perfect peace. And if there were a still point from which everything flows within you, where would that be? Look around. Feel it out. Where within you is that still point out of which everything flows? In other words, where is your center? In yoga, there are 7 centers, chakras, from the base of the spine to the top of your head, plexuses, hubs, nerve centers. But 7 has a center. What is the center of 7? 3 above and 3 below, with 1 in the middle. That's the heart chakra. The heart is the center. Some systems of understanding ourselves as physical beings suggest we have 3 brains. The brain in your head, but there are also neurons in your heart and in your belly. And what's the center of those 3? The heart. The heart center. The center of centers. The heart, which from time out of mind in every culture known correlates to love. And by love, we don't simply mean some emotion or affinity or warm, fuzzy, but consciousness, the fundamental nature of being. Consciousness from which all things flow. The pinpoint at the top of the pendulum from which all activity is expressed. Stand at the center of your being, in the center of your body. And even when you have an awareness that there are multiple centers, find the center of those centers. And you will find stability and balance and equanimity and peace. Contentment and fulfillment. A real stability. An unshakable stability. Just move your awareness, if you haven't already, into the center of your heart space. And know that there is a deep and abiding peace and happiness that lives there, that abides eternally, infinitely. It's always there. Finding peace and happiness is never an accomplishment or a matter of attaining. It's letting go of everything that is not peace and happiness. Like imagine yourself in a small rowboat in the middle of a lake, being rocked gently by waves as the waves begin slowly to diminish. And feel the feeling of sitting in that boat, completely undisturbed, as the surface of the lake becomes as smooth as glass. Feel the stillness, the peace, as if everything's just fine as it is. And consider, as you familiarize yourself with this feeling, bringing it to every situation that might disturb you or upset you. That might irritate, frustrate, or anger you. And you'll know your true nature, that everything is okay. Everything is just fine. Underneath it all, underneath the appearance of things, is stillness, silence, peace, and happiness. the stormiest day, when the clouds are dark and the wind is blowing and the rain is pounding down with lightning and thunder, remind yourself that above all of that, it's a sunny day. Regardless of the appearance of things, ultimately every day is a beautiful sunny day. Be that. In fact, bring that with you effortlessly back to the waking state as you form the intention to return. Feel a gentle floating up, drifting above those storm clouds into a beautiful, clear blue sky. Floating slowly, gently drifting toward a wide awake state. Coming up now, inhaling, fill your lungs, breathe in, hold as you peak, and as you exhale, open your eyes now, wide awake, eyes open, wide awake, back in the room, feeling fine, feeling better than before.